So iOS 26 could be bringing 5 new changes to the existing pair of AirPods Pro, but we also have news regarding AirPods Pro 3 launching later this year, and also AirPods getting cameras in 2027, so let's delve into all of this. So beginning with iOS 26, we have new upgrades we can expect with the existing pair of AirPods, and the first upgrade are new head gestures. So last year Apple introduced a nod or head shake to accept or decline calls, and now apparently there's going to be a new head gesture to control the volume of your media. I'm not exactly sure how they're going to do that. Are you going to shake your head sideways to control the volume? No idea, but there is a new head gesture coming. The next upgrade is auto pause for sleep. So the AirPods can now recognize when you go to sleep, I'm assuming using Apple Watch data, and then of course automatically pause your media, and that should hopefully save battery life. So yes, if you do often fall asleep with your AirPods in, that will be quite handy. Next, Apple plans to launch a camera trigger feature with AirPods where you can press a stem to of course take a picture. This I guess is similar to camera remote on the Apple Watch, and I'm guessing there's going to be a timer so that of course when you press a stem you have 3 seconds to get ready and pose. AirPods could also get the audio mix feature iPhones currently have, where of course you can choose different recording options such as studio, cinematic. That also is going to be quite nice. And finally, we should see better pairing for schools, because apparently kids use AirPods in schools with their classroom iPads. This is the first time I'm hearing about this. I know iPads are used in schools, but do they actually have AirPods in schools as well? Anyway, that also is quite nice. Now, it's not specified if these upgrades are coming to all AirPods or just the AirPods Pro. Last year, a lot of the main features came to the AirPods Pro only, and so I'm assuming that's going to be the case this year as well. Apple really sees AirPods Pro as the halo product. And let's talk about AirPods Pro 3 because we have details on the release date, features and price. So we begin with the actual design because there's been rumors Apple may give these buds a refreshed look, but we don't have specific details on what exactly is changing. I do remember AirPods Pro 2 were rumored to be stemless, but honestly I don't see Apple ever adopting a stemless design because these stems are just a superior way of controlling your media instead of having to tap the earbuds and push it further in your ear like you do with stemless earbuds. So honestly, the buds themselves probably won't look very different, and that's a non-issue. If anything, maybe Apple can make the sensors on the AirPods smaller. That's what happened with AirPods Pro 2, and so I can see Apple giving us even smaller sensors on AirPods Pro 3, further giving us a minimal design. The case itself should be slimmer, should have a concealed LED indicator, and also a front-facing capacitive button, which are changes we saw with AirPods 4 that I expect AirPods Pro 3 to adopt. I do wish AirPods came in different colors, but at this point I've kinda stopped hoping for that because we've had 4 generations of regular AirPods and 2 generations of AirPods Pro that only come in white, and I've just accepted that Apple's allergic to colors. I guess white is too iconic and helps AirPods stand out, and so expect AirPods Pro 3 to retain this as well. I also have wished for a frosted or matte case since the glossy case we have right now can literally be scratched by the air, but this also likely won't change considering they could have given us matte cases years ago. Maybe they want your AirPods case to scratch up faster because maybe that'll get you to upgrade faster. Tim is out here playing 4D chess. Another change that's expected with every new pair of AirPods Pro is a new chipset. We saw H1 in AirPods Pro 1, H2 in AirPods Pro 2, and so guess what new chip's gonna be in AirPods Pro 3? You wouldn't have seen this coming, guys. Oh my god, it's H3. Yeah. Now the H3 is set to be faster, and if you're wondering why an audio chip it needs to be faster, it's because this allows for better ANC, which is always an upgrade I'm happy to see. Yes, AirPods Pro 2 are already really good as is, but it's not like the competition is falling asleep, they're quickly catching up, and so for ANC to get even better with AirPods Pro 3 is great news. You know what else would be great? Clicking that subscribe button. It's free and would bring you the latest about Apple right to the subscription box, so please consider it. Join the Saranbyte gang now. By the way, I will say I'm glad AirPods Pro 2's noise cancellation didn't get worse over time. I did notice this with the original AirPods Pro, where some updates did bulk the capability of the ANC, but AirPods Pro 2 have been much more reliable, and so I'm hoping AirPods Pro 3 follow suit. Rumors don't mention anything about this, but I think we can expect audio improvements, particularly new drivers. I'm no audiophile, but I've always been happy with how AirPods Pro 2 sounds, so I'm looking forward to any audio improvements we could see with AirPods Pro 3. A new chipset can also help improve battery life, and to be honest, I hope the buds and the case do last longer because AirPods batteries degrade fast. and so I really hope they can stuff in bigger batteries. Obviously, a big selling point with the Apple Watch are its health features, because it's very easy to upsell people on watches when it involves their health, and so Apple's now going to do the same to sell AirPods. Apparently, AirPods Pro 3 could feature in-ear heart rate tracking, which by the way Apple has already debuted with the recently announced AirPods Pro, so that basically confirms we should see this upgrade with the upcoming AirPods Pro. I know this is not that useful for those who already have an Apple Watch, but I'm sure there are those who don't have an Apple Watch and just use AirPods, so packing in a health sensor into these earbuds isn't a bad thing at all. However, one weird disadvantage with the sensor on AirPods Pro is that you can't stream music whilst tracking your heart rate with gym equipment. So if you want to sync your heart rate, you just have to work out in silence, which would be very awkward. And so hopefully AirPods Pro 3 don't have this shortcoming, because I can't imagine that low-key being a deal breaker for gym lads like me, of course. Look how dense I am. And it's not just heart rate monitoring, Apple also plans to launch in-ear temperature detection with AirPods Pro 3. They have been researching ear canal temperature sensing, which would offer much faster, more reliable readings than the skin temperature sensor on the Apple Watch Series 10 and Ultra 2. Now, unlike the heart rate monitor, we aren't sure if this will be ready in time for the launch of AirPods Pro 3, but to be honest, I can see Apple doubling down on the health aspect in the marketing for AirPods Pro 3, so I do expect this to be available with these AirPods. I mean, right now Apple is promoting the hearing aid feature that recently launched via software update, so that should tell you that Apple is shifting their focus to how AirPods could better improve your health and well-being. Even if the feature isn't ready at launch, Apple can easily just say it's coming later via software update, like they've been doing a lot lately, Apple Intelligence. But anyway, it would be a miss to not launch this feature with AirPods Pro 3. We also hear AirPods Pro 3 could feature on-device live translation. Bloomberg reports that using the iPhone's Translate application, AirPods Pro could instantly translate a conversation you're having with a non-English speaker. I believe Google's earbuds already offer this, but as far as I know, it's not as fast on those, so you just end up standing there waiting to understand what the other person is saying. I hope the feature on AirPods is truly real-time, because if there is a delay, that kind of defeats the purpose. And ideally, they should support more languages, because as someone who can speak Tamil, it's still frustrating the Translate app does not support this. You do realize 18 million people talk that language, Apple. It's about time you had support. Now let's delve into more crazy rumors. We have heard Apple's adding bloody cameras to AirPods, and you're probably wondering why? Are AirPods replacing iPhones now? No, they're not. Essentially, these are supposed to be infrared cameras that improve the spatial audio experience, but also could allow for in-ear gestures. There's also talk about Apple implementing small cameras for AI features, but I have no idea how cameras and AI go hand in hand. But anyway, the infrared camera features are apparently not debuting before 2027, so they could be saved for a future version of AirPods. But I could see Apple launching them with AirPods Pro 3. It can't be that hard to add infrared cameras for spatial audio and some new gestures, right? I'm kidding, I'm not going against Mr. Gurman's words. If he says 2027, it's likely gonna be 2027. Finally, coming to the release date and price, all Gurman says is that AirPods Pro 3 are months away. Wow, thanks for that groundbreaking information. But obviously, if I were to guess using my big brain, I think it makes sense to launch AirPods Pro 3 at the September event alongside the iPhone 17. Why? Well, much like the Apple Watch, AirPods are the ultimate accessory to the iPhone, and we saw AirPods Pro 2 launch with the iPhone 14s in 2022, AirPods 4 launch with the iPhone 16s in 2024, so it only makes sense for AirPods Pro 3 to follow suit. Pricing wise, I'm unsure right now. AirPods Pro 2 did not get a price increase over AirPods Pro 1, so hopefully AirPods Pro 3 stay at $249, but I could totally see Apple getting away with a small price increase to $279 or $299 due to inflation or the rising component costs. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments, make sure to like and subscribe for more content like this, and thank you for watching.